So, I think I'm gonna start something called car diaries, where when I'm riding, I can basically talk and say how I feel, and I might start sharing it at some point, but I might not. I might have to do some editing and things like that. But in life, I realize we go through things for many different reasons, like relationships, friendships, jobs, family issues, different things on those natures that we go through things. Financial problems, like anything can cause us to veer off from the path that we normally would be on. Like, let's just say I started a job about a month ago. I switched from one thing to another. I never took a break in between it. And some people always say, you should never leave a job unless you have another. But what I don't think people realize is that, let's just say, when I left basically working like 32 hours a week. Then I got moved to a flex office where I was picking up hours damn near every day, probably one off day. Still not much of nothing. Then I switched to this other job to where I'm now working 40 plus hours a week. My body had no time to rest. I had no time to mentally prepare. I had no time to physically prepare, let alone spiritually prepare. You never know what you're going into. You always want to sit there. You always want to basically be mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared for almost anything you walk into. I can't say that in the transition that I had an easy time, because I'm still adjusting. I'm not a morning person, and I'm having to learn to get up in the morning. I'm having to learn to be able to eat breakfast in the morning when I get up. I'm having to learn a steady, literally routine of what's to come, because I'm also, not only am I working full time, I'm also in school. So I'm trying to learn to balance everything, and in the midst of it, it can lead you basically in so many words. Your mind ain't functioning right, and a lot of emotions going on, because everything, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know for me personally, everything has to line up. And spiritually, I have not been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't been reading the word. I haven't been studying. I haven't been praying. I haven't been doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, everybody say, well, you should have more time because we're quarantined. But when I've never had to quarantine, I've always been working. Ever since this pandemic hit, I have worked. I have not had that luxury of having time off. I say I'm going to end up doing this and take some time. So I never got the luxury. All I live off of is paychecks. I didn't get the stimulus. Well, I did get the stimulus check. But I didn't get the unemployment because I was always working. So that was something that people have taken advantage of, where they're getting healthy. They're getting their mind right. They're getting spiritually connected back to God. So those are the things that people that have been quarantined, they're finding new hobbies. They're finding new crafts of themselves. They're learning different things about themselves, things that they wouldn't ordinarily get the chance to do because they're now been sitting at home for a few months. So they're learning different things. They're doing things, but I hadn't had that chance. And I'm not knocking anybody for the things that they're doing, because, hey, we all need a break. I wish I could get that luxury of getting a break. Now, if things stores shut down again, I would get that luxury, because now I am working for a store that if their door is closed, I won't work. But then there lies the problem. How would I be able to pay bills? How would I be able to do the things that I need to do if we close again because of the stuff that's going on with the unemployment? Would I be able to say I'm going to still have my income? So I wonder all these things, and the purpose of me doing the car diary is for me to talk without having to go on live and read the different comments as they come through. And it's for me to be able to go back and edit when I make a mistake or I say something wrong. I literally get that chance to actually view it before it goes live. Now, if this hits the way that I think it probably would, then I probably would venture out and do it on different platforms. But in the meantime, this is just my way of talking, and because I pretty much work 5 days a week, maybe 6, and I pretty much am in my car pretty much for about 7 days, because even if I'm not going to work, I'm still finna go shopping, I'm finna go try to visit some family, I'm finna try to do something. So this is just my way of trying to fine tune and maintain my sanity in the process of everything that's going on, because we're all facing the terrible times that we just don't know how the day by day goes. You don't know what would take of things that's happening. We all process things a whole lot different than we like. Me, I have been guilty of holding so much stuff in to the point that when it finally explodes, it explodes. But I also know that that's not healthy. That's not something that I need to do. I need to find other outlets of getting my point across and sorting this stuff out that's actually in my mind, because I'm a thinker. And I probably think more than the norm does. I literally think 24/7, even in my sleep. I'm sitting here thinking of different things, like how can I make my life more useful? How can I do this? How can I do that? Or what would happen in this situation? So not only do I think of different things, I think of, like, let's say I'm driving to work, which I really am. But let's just say I literally think in my mind before I go to bed, well, if this happened today, who can I call? If this was to happen, who could I count on? Or so that I'm always thinking of something. It's not. It might be something small, but it might be something big. But I'm always thinking of something. I don't care what it is. So at this point in my life, I'm 32 years old. If the good Lord allowed me to see it, and in good health, December the 26th, I would be 33. I'm still young. I'm still able to physically say, why am I just watching my life pass me by? Why do I not go out and enjoy my life? Why do I only live just to go to work and pay bills? Why don't I actually do something with my life? I was always very talented. I was very gifted in different things. And I have literally noticed, I've been out of hospital since 2006. I have truly, and I can honestly say, truly done nothing in 10 plus years to where I can say, well, I'm making a difference. I'm doing something with my life. I'm actually seeing. All I can see is I'm not doing nothing but going to work and coming home. I may go out a time or two, but that's all I'm really doing. There's a whole community that I grew up in. I hadn't done anything to say that I have helped the community or I have used any of my special gifts to even give back, to even utilize them to benefit for myself. So I know I hadn't utilized them to benefit others. But what I can say is, being the age that I am and coming up, it's hard for people who does not know how to do things. Pretty much basically saying, when I was growing up, people didn't teach us how to save money. People didn't teach us how to invest in our money. People didn't teach us how to literally support each other and not go outside of our community and support. So these are all things that children nowadays are probably benefiting from, that my generation did benefit from. And it's crazy because there's only like literally 2 or 3 years gap in between my generation and some of the younger generation that had that opportunity. But that's because people, we reach our different spots at different levels at different times in our lives. So that means I'm just now realizing I have a whole platform that I don't use. So that means I'm finna now start trying to reach out and help the younger generation and the younger kids coming up behind me. That I probably should have thought about this some years ago, and it probably would have been beneficial to the ones that's gonna miss out on this opportunity. But that goes to say, what we think for our lives is not for us. It's not up to us how our lives gonna go. What determines our lives is the plan that God already had planned out for us. But we have to actually understand, we can't force it. We can't make it happen. We only have to go with it day by day, and as we going through the day, thanking God, asking God to please show us the path that He will want us to take, not the path that we want to take. He knows the desires of our heart. He knows I'm not necessarily wanting to be famous. I don't want to be popular. I don't care for all the material things. I don't care for any of that. All I want, and this is just to be honest, financially stable, to where I don't have to live from where I got paid today. I gotta make this stretch until I get paid again. And if I can pay this bill, the next go round. But it always leaves you, each time you get paid, you always left with trying to catch up from the last time you got paid, because you had to juggle some things. It's what we call trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. That's what a lot of us are really doing, and it's sad to say that even with this pandemic that's going on, the government was giving people an extra $600 for unemployment. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I like to say that if it was me and I was able to get that extra $600 on top of my unemployment, I would have been putting myself in a predicament. So once this pandemic is over, that I'm able to win. Meaning, I don't have bills behind. I'm actually caught up. Not only would I probably I would have, because you do the math. You get an extra $600 a month, an extra $600 a week. You do the math. So that right there, 1 week would have paid my rent. 1 week would have paid my car note. 1 week, but in each situation, I would have been fine, because after I'm catching up and I'm saving, maybe let's just say you save $150 every time, each week. You doing yourself a favor, because that $150 every week gonna add up. You take that money off whatever you eat, put it somewhere else, put it in the savings account, and you just let it sit there. So once everything goes back to normal, you are able to say, well, it only helped me to go through this pandemic because I actually was able to save money. I realized I was spending unnecessarily money on just random things that did not make sense. So let's just say, with the thing that they're trying to get this new bill passed away, they redo it and my job does shut down, and I'm able to get the money, and I get the $600 a week. Well, I can say this, even if it's for about 2 months, I can truly say this: I will be doing what I got to do to help myself in the future. I'm looking for at making sure the future of me is taken care of. I don't care about today. Today's person. Today's person is going to be all right. The future me is what I'm concerned about. Do I have the money for retirement? Do I have the money to buy a house? Do I have the money to go on vacation? if I was to go on vacation, when I come back, can I honestly say I still have no worries in this world because everything is paid and is dealt with. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that for today. Hopefully I get this edited sometime today and posted. But this is gonna be something I try to do almost every day, if not every day, almost every day, is to do what I call the car diaries, where I can literally take a topic, talk about it, get it, sort through it, get it off my chest, let it be known this is how I'm feeling for today. Y'all might like it, y'all might not, but it's just something I want to do for me.